So Nintendo just released a bunch of details when it comes to Nintendo Switch Online and the expansion pack, which all in all is great news. We know it's coming out on December 25th, but people are really complaining about the price. Everyone's really excited to relive a lot of their memories when it comes to the N64 and with their Sega Genesis. And if you're an Animal Crossing fan, the all-new DLC will be included with the expansion pass. So we're gonna get an amazing expansion to one of the most popular titles on the Nintendo Switch, along with reliving our childhood favorites, all for $50 a year. Good morning, you glorious gamers! Garbs here, and for some reason this $50 price point has got everyone in hysterics. And I don't understand why. A lot of people said it should be a $5 increase or $10 at most. But I feel like we're getting a ton of value for an additional $30. But before we get into it, don't forget to super smash that like button and hit subscribe so you guys can stay up to date with all gaming content. Now I'm sure you're wondering, and everyone keeps asking, is it worth $50? And it's hard to know because is it worth it is kind of all personal preference. However, I'm pretty sure I can do a really good job of describing why it is an amazing deal. Now before we start, clearly I'm a huge Nintendo fan and N64 just happens to be my favorite system of all time. So if you were to ask me on a personal level, is it worth it? Absolutely, 100%, without a doubt, I'm gonna go get it. Doesn't matter the price, I love it. But if I take off my nostalgia cap for a bit, can I justify spending an additional $30 a year for the expansion pack? Is there a way I can be as unbiased as possible and still prove that yes, this is one of the best deals in all of gaming? So let's start with the obvious reason why this is a good deal. Number one, Animal Crossing DLC. Now on its own, that content is going to cost you $24. So if you're an Animal Crossing fan and you were going to get the DLC anyway, you might as well spend an additional $5 to unlock the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo 64 Online. Now what if you're not an Animal Crossing fan? Is it worth it to spend $30 on the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo 64 Online? And again, the answer is yes. Now granted, there's not going to be that many games at launch, but Nintendo has said they are going to expand the collection over time. But let's get down to the nitty gritty and I'm going to prove to you that this is great value. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's do the math. Let's start with the greatest game of all time and my personal favorite, Zelda Ocarina of Time. Currently, there are 5 platforms that you can play this game on, excluding emulators on your PC. First, we have the original on N64. We have 2 that came out on GameCube. One is the 2-game bonus disc, and the other is the Zelda Collector's Edition. If you have a Wii U, then you still have the ability to download it virtually, and finally, you have it on the 3DS. So that means you're gonna have to pick up one of these copies if you want to enjoy one of the best games of all time. So if we look it up on eBay, Zelda Ocarina of Time, we can find an N64 cartridge for about $32, and that's just the cartridge, because if you want the case and the instruction manual, you're gonna pay a little more, closer to about $100. Wow, and when it comes to the GameCube version and the 2-disc bonus, you're looking at spending around $100. For the collector's edition, there's a bunch of different prices. They kind of range from $50 to $19, $88, $100, so still well above the $30 limit. And Ocarina of Time 3D, the cheapest I found was $13, but there's also a bunch for various prices. Now, if you still have a Wii U, your cheapest and best option is actually just to go to the store because you can still buy it digitally for $9. Now, with all those numbers being said, we still don't have the systems to play them on or any of the cables to hook them up to a modern TV. And by the way, if you want to learn how to hook up your retro consoles to a modern television, I'll put a link right here. Now, some of you might say I'm not a Zelda fan, and yeah, that's a really expensive game just because of how popular it is. But if you look at all of the titles, they're all roughly the same. Super Mario 64, we're looking at $45, $37, $30, $34. Now for Super Mario 64, if you really want to play that game, you can go to the DS version. In that case, you're looking at $23 or even $9. For those of you lucky enough who grabbed a hold of the Mario 3D All-Stars, that is still the best way to play Super Mario 64. Dr. Mario, $37, $51, $64, $119 in the box. Star Fox, $43, $41, $41, $15, $28, or if we type in Star Fox 64 on the 3DS, you can pick it up for roughly the same price, ironically, at $39, $40, $39, $43. Yoshi Story, you're looking at $33, $17, $98, $40. Mario Kart 64, again, you're looking at $33, $38, $50, $119, $42, $150. Not to mention that Sin and Punishment is averaging like $60 and was never available in North America. So if we take all of the 9 games and take the average of what they're going for online, each game would cost you $34.66. And still, don't forget, that doesn't include any of the systems to play it on or any of the cables and other hookups you're gonna need. So by just doing the numbers on the N64 alone, you're actually saving an average of $4.60. And that's just looking at the N64 lineup. That still hasn't taken into consideration the games that are coming out like Majora's Mask and Banjo-Kazooie, or the fact that you can play some of these great games with other people online. Oh, and don't forget, you also get the Animal Crossing DLC and Sega Genesis. And yeah, everyone's still gonna complain complain that it takes them too long to release new games, but you know what? At least they're coming and they're telling us. But at least they're letting us know some of the titles that are coming, and it shows that they're working with other developers. They already locked down Banjo-Kazooie, so what are the chances that we also get GoldenEye online? At the end of the day, I still have no idea why people are complaining. It is literally $2.50 extra a month. That is cheaper than any coffee that you're gonna get at Starbucks. So is it worth it? Is it not worth it? That's for everyone to decide on their own. I hope this helps some of you justify the value, because these games are truly amazing. And the more of you that buy the expansion pass means that I have more people to play against online. So I wanna know your guys' thoughts on Nintendo's expansion pass for Switch Online. So let's have a discussion about it in the comments down below. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you online.